Hey guys, what's up, it's Zyflin here, and today we are going to be talking about how to craft your first amp within Warframe or the Plains of Eidolon update. If you're a new player coming into the Plains of Eidolon, chances are you won't have access to a lot of the features here, so if you want to watch it, by all means go ahead, but just be warned that there are a few spoilers. I'll try to keep the spoilers to a minimum, but there is going to be a few spoilers ahead which may ruin your enjoyment of like the lore of the game if you decide to keep on watching. So if you're a new player, you know, maybe don't watch this video, but if you're an experienced player and you just want to find out how to build an amp to take down the Eidolon, well then this is a video that you're going to want to watch. So from this point onwards, no filter. My phone just went off. I'm just going to go ahead and mute that. From this point onwards, no filter. We're just going to be talking about spoilers and stuff like that there. So I'll give you 5 seconds to click off the video. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't care anymore. Just go or stay. You choose. But anyway, so to get your first amp, or to basically like unlock the ability to get your first amp, you're going to have to complete a few quests. That being the second dream, the War of In. You're basically just going to have to complete up to the War of In on the star chart. And you're also going to have to complete the quest that this here guy, Konzu, actually gives you, or as I like to call him, Baldybap. So this is Baldybap, and he will forever be known as Baldybap. So nothing wrong with bald people. It's just I find Baldybap a little bit more memorable and funny. So yeah, that and this guy kind of looks stoned a lot of the time. So that's also a thing. But basically, what you want to do is you want to come here and you want to complete one bounty from this guy. And then after you complete that bounty, you're going to be given the Gara quest. Completely forget the name of the quest. But it's the quest which will basically give you the Gara blueprint. Complete that quest. And then you will be able to basically go from this door right here. Okay, so this is the door leading you into the plains. And then up this here left-hand side. And then you're going to find this little secret door over here. And now you're not going to be able to walk in here unless you're in your operator mode, because this here little button, I guess, is similar to the one that you find in the War of In, right? Where you have to shoot it with your void laser, except you just have to go into your operator mode here to kind of walk through the door, right? And then you're going to find this here looking, this cool looking dude. And yeah, he's going to have his arms folded. Sometimes for me, he's bugged in T-stance, so that's just basically a stance that animators use to rig characters and stuff in Maya and other 3D softwares and stuff like that. But you know, this guy, he's like his own syndicate faction. So what you have to do is you have to go out of your way, kill Eidolons, because once you meet this guy for the first time, you're going to get your very first amp. You're going to have to go out of your way with other players to kill Eidolons, or kill like the little tiny wisps that spawn whenever Eidolons are out. Get sentient cores, which you can see we can trade sentient cores for quill standing right here. And then once you are progressing through the quill standing, you'll be able to buy blueprints which will allow you to craft parts for an amp, right? So if we go to offerings here, you can see that we have all these different you know, parts for different amps, right? We have a prism, we have a scaffold, and we have a brace, right? Because these are 3 different parts that we're going to need to sort of combine to make, you know, a really good amp, right? So there's obviously 3 tiers. There's tier 1 amp, there's tier 2 amp, and then there's a tier 3 amp. And you can see these tiers kind of split down this like sort of syndicate standing place here. So all these items up here, the Raplac prism, the Pincha scaffold, and the Clapcrab brace, these are all tier 1. And then we move on to the Schwalk prism, the Straxon scaffold, and the Jitney brace. These are all tier 2. And then we have the Granmu prism, the Kleebrick scaffold, and the Lauren brace, which are all tier 3. On top of that, we also have little arcanes here, which we'll be able to apply to your operators as well. But we'll talk a little bit more about those in a separate video. We're right now focusing on the brace. So as you guys could probably already guess, you have to spend your standing, which they don't take that much standing. It caps out about 7,500 standing. So I could basically buy everything here, right? So I can buy this, you know, I can buy this. I could buy basically everything that I need right here, okay? So let's just go ahead and do that. Let's just buy all the things. Don't want to buy that. We want to buy the blueprints for our scaffolds, or amps, sorry. I call them scaffolds because I'm just after reading scaffold, but okay, so you know, you just want to buy whichever is appealing to you. And you're going to have to buy a lot of these, actually, because I believe, like, the different parts or the different amps will also give you mastery rank as well. So we'll talk a little bit more about that there in a later video, too, like how to, you know, basically maximize your mastery rank coming from all these amps and how to build them so you're getting the most out of it and stuff like that. That'll all be in future videos and future guides and stuff like that. And for everyone who's asking me if beginner guides is still a thing, yes, it's still a thing. I just haven't had the time to record it as of lately. So, it's coming. It's coming. Just don't worry about it. I'm just trying to figure out like what I'm gonna do with PoE being randomly added in. So that's a thing. But you're gonna want to go back to your ship, and you're gonna want to craft, three different parts, right? So it can be any parts. You can combine a tier 1 prism with a tier 2 scaffold and a tier 3 brace. So there's a lot of different combinations that you can make whenever it comes to the amps. Most of the amps are very well rounded in terms of balance. So like there's, of course there's going to be amps which are better than other amps, but most of them are very well rounded, like I said. So I have 3 parts actually already crafted. So I have the Granby prism, the Pencha scaffold, and the Jutini brace. I believe that these are all like different tiers as well. So just to give you guys an example, and yeah, you can see the stats right here. So we have our primary fire, which will give us a crit chance of 16%, crit multiplier of 1.5, 100 energy, 5 energy per shot, fire rate of 2.07, recharge delay 1, recharge rate 30 per second, status 2%, trigger burst, and it does 2,200 void damage. And obviously we have the secondary fire here, which is 100% accuracy, 0.8 charge rate, critical chance of 4 times, critical multiplier of 1.1 times. I said critical chance of 4 times, critical chance of 4%, energy 100, energy per shot 10, fire rate 2, noise alarming, recharge delay 1 second, recharge rate 30 per second, status 8%, triggers charge, and then we have obviously 9,000 void damage. So all I have to do from that point onward is press construct amp, and then that's your amp made. So once you've done that, go ahead, leave Cetus, and then go back to your ship. And then you're going to want to go to the back of your ship, and then you can equip your amp from back here. So if we go over here, down to the back of our ship, like so, go to customize Tenno, scroll all the way to the bottom, and you'll see that you'll have all the amps that you've crafted. For some reason, DE went ahead and gave me like a second amp. So, I have 2 of the beginner amp, which are what you guys will have going into your first Eidolon fight, and I will have guides covering the Eidolon fight going up later, maybe this week or next week. I don't know when. It just depends whenever I have time to kind of make the video. But you're able to go through all your different amps and sort of compare. So this one that I'm using is kind of like an Arcaplasmor. You can use that as the primary fire or the secondary fire, which is kind of like a grenade launcher. And then obviously I haven't tested this one out yet because this is my new one, right? So we can just go ahead and compare the stats between the two. And this one that we just crafted actually deals more damage. So you can level these up, and like I said, you will get mastery from them. So you have to be specifically using your operator. So we're just going to go ahead and equip the amp that we just made, and we're going to go ahead, run into the plains and test it out, I guess, just to sort of see what it's like. So that's realistically it whenever it comes to crafting your amps. Just go in and kill an Eidolon. Like I said, I'll have guides up later this week whenever it comes to killing the Eidolon, capturing the Eidolon, and just kind of maximizing your quill standing, because that's very important. But I wouldn't like rush too deep into the system because there's no real need for it as of yet. So you can do whatever. So this is a grenade launcher, pretty dope actually. So I'm assuming that is 2,000 damage per explosion there. That'd be pretty cool. We also have our charge shot here, which is like a cool little lightning beam. So what we could potentially do actually is we could actually go ahead and test this out first as an Eidolon, because it is nighttime. So let's just go ahead and fly up. Maybe we can see an Eidolon or something. There he is. So I'm just going to go ahead melee, and then before we hit the ground, I'm going to jump into operator mode and go ahead and shoot his shield. So you can see the damage there. Pretty good actually, not gonna lie. That's actually better than my last amp. And then you can see the damage that we're dealing there. You can actually amplify the damage of your amp by using or shooting free Volt shield. So is electric shield ability, if you want to go ahead and use that. And yeah, that is basically how you craft your amp, and this is what you will be using the amps for, to actually go ahead and damage the Eidolon. Now you can see we actually did a decent chunk of damage there. Like you can see if you look close enough, you can see that we actually, like, you know, took away a good portion of it. So, you know, it's all about just making the really good amps and stuff like that. There's a lot of combinations that you want to be messing around with, and I just recommend, like, really dicking around with many different combinations, finding something that works for you, and reading the descriptions of all the different parts, because some parts will mean or will give you the ability to like recharge your energy faster. Some will give more crit chance, you know, and then obviously there's the firing mode and stuff that you want to be focusing on as well. Finding the one that works for you, or one that you think is relatively decent, right? So there's so much, and that's basically it. So all you want to be doing is killing Eidolons, playing a group. Like I said, guides will be up later this week, or you can kill these little small guys as well, if I can actually see one, if the one's around. Okay, there he is. So all you have to do to kill these guys is shoot them normally, jump into your operator mode, and then shoot them with your amp. You know, it's actually that simple. So, and then they drop these little intact cores, and then you can trade those in for full standing as well. So that is basically it. You can also pickpocket them with Ivara using Prowl, but again, we'll talk a little bit more about that there whenever it comes to my Eidolon hunting guides, I guess. So yeah, there's two different ways. You can either kill the Eidolon, or you can capture the Eidolon. Capturing the Eidolon is more efficient, but obviously it'll all come down to your frame setups and stuff like that, and all those other things. So there's a lot to take into consideration. It's a system that needs polishing, in my opinion, but you know, it's worth sort of investing into it now, but it's also not worth it. So if you're a newer player and you're worried about it, don't be worried about it, because it'll be something that is refined over time. So you know, there's no need to worry about, you know, making your operator the best thing ever. Like, it's going to take you a year of maxing your focus cap every single day, like 365 days worth of maxing your focus cap every single day to max out all the skill trees in the focus system. So, you know, it definitely is an end game thing, which will hopefully be expanded upon and improved, because I mean, that's what I feel like the goal is with the focus system, is to kind of make it like the side system, which is really good and kind of just complements the core gameplay of Warframe. So don't worry about the system too much if you're a newer player, but it's always nice to sort of keep in mind that it is there, and it's like this cool little thing that you can also focus on in the background. It's like another piece of daily content which you can focus on if you do all the main stuff in the game for the day, is kind of what I'm trying to say. So anyway, guys, that's going to be it for this video. If you enjoyed it, go ahead, hit the like button below. If you want to see more Warframe gameplay from me, go ahead and hit subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.